Shaun Haney here with RealAgriculture.com, and right now I'm joined by Barry Senft with the Grain Farmers of Ontario. How are you doing today, Barry?
Not too bad at all, Shaun.
It's great to talk to you. We haven't chatted for a while.
No, it has been a while.
It has
the
been
last one was on potash or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Back.
Yeah, more controversial topic.
Yeah.
Today, you're having a welcome reception, and it has to do with welcoming barley and oats. Wait a minute, we're in Ontario. We're not in the West.
Yep.
What's going on with barley and oats in Ontario?
Well, barley and oats have always been a crop grown in this province. A number of years ago, it was a significant crop. 2.5 million acres at one point was the production of barley and oats, but then as some of the other production came in as far as corn and soybeans, you could see that moving to those other commodities, along with the livestock industry moving further west. Barley and oats diminished in its production. But it's always been there in smaller amounts, of course, than what's going on in comparison to the west. But always, especially in some of the areas, the northern areas, New Lister area, areas around Orangeville, it's always been part of their rotation. So back, the formation of GFO with oats or with the soybean, wheat, and corn. Shortly after that, there was no formal organization to represent those two commodities, but they did have a council. They approached us in early 2010 to see if we could and would entertain the idea of representing those two commodities also. We wanted to make sure we were doing a proper job on the three commodities that we were originally sent out to do.
Yep.
And after a period of time, they approached us again, and along with the delegates at one of their semi-annual meetings, passing a motion, a resolution that said we should be hospitable to any other commodities that Ontario farmers produce, and at least have a discussion. So about 2 years ago, barley and oat, both producers and the industry, approached GFO if we would entertain the idea of a formal review of that. And so we had, again, since they didn't have a formal organization, it was a little more difficult than the formation of GFO, but we see the end result being those two commodities coming into the GFO family July 1.
Yeah, so we're enjoying some snacks, and we're enjoying a pint of beer, which obviously goes very well with barley.
Absolutely.
Does malt barley have much of a presence in Ontario?
No, it isn't, and I think that's one of the issues that we want to see, whether, especially with craft breweries, and that if there is varieties that are more suited for the Ontario production. And that's been one of the issues from a national perspective, that there's a lot of research that goes into, say, malt barley nationally. We've been missing out on that because we haven't had a formal organization to plug into the Barley Council, for example. So, it's been the West and Quebec and a bit in the Maritimes, but Ontario's been right out of that. And farmers, as they look to diversify their crops, put more crops into a rotation, both barley and oats are key and can be key to that, given the right varieties.
Yeah. So, let's talk about oats.
Yep.
Okay, so when I think of oats, I right away think of lots of talk about horse racing and the equine industry. What about food grade oats?
Well, Quaker Oats, PepsiCo has a plant in Peterborough. They're supplied by a lot of Eastern oats already, but they're looking at specific varieties. It's like any other processor looking at varieties that best work for their processing. I was in discussion with PepsiCo a couple of weeks ago about how we could have and work with our members in an IP delivery of oats to their plant in Peterborough, a big processor there, and we want to ensure that it's Ontario oats going into that. That means, again, making sure the right varieties are being planted by our farmer members, and that their IP didn't going into that plant. So there's another big opportunity. When you have as many processing facilities in Ontario and the population, it's important that we can grow and supply those processors as much as we can with Ontario production.
Yeah, well, Barry, it was great talking to you. We better get back in there and celebrate barley and oats by drinking another pint of beer.
Absolutely.
So it's good chatting with you.
Thank you, Shaun.